Hello everybody! Welcome to a Facebook Live with Jeannie. I am Jeannie Nielsen, the Card Lady, and I'm very excited to be here today. I didn't think I was going to be here today. I was supposed to have dinner plans, but alas, my dear friend Anne had to cancel. So we're going to send up healing prayers for Anne today. Thank you so much for joining me. I am going to feature Light the Sky today. I've got 4 cards and they will be featured in my card class Thursday night, Saturday afternoon, and Monday morning. So if you are in the area and you would like to join me for my card classes, I live in Lynnfield, Massachusetts, about 20 minutes north of Boston, without traffic. With traffic, it takes me an hour and a half to get home sometimes. It's that bad. But anyway. Thursday evening at 7 o'clock in my home. I've got a beautiful stamp room, which I am working on revamping and cleaning. We're getting there. So let me tell you a little bit about Light the Sky. Light the Sky was in a mini catalog. It may have been in the December catalog, the September to December catalog. Whatever catalog it was in, it retired from the catalog, but it moved to the online store. And I'm thinking, oh my goodness, you see all these fireworks? Great for birthdays, great for 4th of July, great for celebration, great for anything. So I made 4 cards today. I actually made 5 cards, but I'm not happy with one of them. So I may show you, but it's not going to be a card that we're making in card class. Let me flip up to flip down. If this is going to make you dizzy, close your eyes for just a second. I'm going to flip up just like this. There we go. I'm going to try and keep up with comments, but I'm not very good at that, just to let you know. And let's flip down so you can see what I'm doing. There we go. So I'm on my beautiful glass mat. Hopefully you don't have too much of a glare of the glass, but this is the stamp set, Light the Sky. Like I said, it is a bundle. It's probably not available as a bundle anymore because everything from Stampin' Up, when it's first introduced, it's introduced as a bundle and you can save 10%. And then when it goes into the online store, you can get the stamps and you can get coordinating dies, but you're not going to save the 10% anymore. All the more reason to get it the first time out. Anyway, so it has Light the Sky stamp set and it has Light the Sky dies. And I've got some of my dies kind of hidden already. Here's a couple of them just so you can see them. I didn't end up using these 3 and more because I just couldn't figure out how to do it. But I love that Stampin' Up is calling their dies the same name as the stamp set because now I can usually remember both of the names. So anyway. Let me show you my first card. With Memorial Day coming up and then 4th of July, my first card naturally is going to be a red, white, and blue card. So let me flip down, go down a little bit more. Hopefully I don't snap this, my phone holder. Here we go. Okay, so this is a card, Blueberry Bushel. I didn't put an insert in it. I will, of course, for the card class. But 4 1/4 by 11 inches. And what I did was I scored it at 5 1/2. 5 1/2 inches is half of 11 inches. So, and then I have on here a layer of, this was going to be another card, by the way. It was going to be a fancy fold card. It was just too advanced for my liking. If I was taking lots of time rather than just 2 hours to teach this class, we would do it. I think I'm going to actually show this in our team meeting. So anybody that's coming to our team meeting on June 9th, you will see this card demonstrated, the fancy fold. This is just a regular card. So I've got my Blueberry Bushel, 4 1/4 by 11 inches, scored at 5 1/2 inches. Then I have a basic white layer. This one is 3 3/4 by 5 inches. And what I did was I randomly stamped it. Maybe I should just start showing you the card instead of talking about it, right? Let's make the card. Okay, so I've got my stamps here. Here, first of all, is my Blueberry Bushel. 4 1/4 by 11 inches. I've already scored it at 5 1/2 inches. When you finish scoring, take your bone folder and just burnish the edge a little bit, just like that. Nice and flat. And now I have my 3 3/4 by 5-inch piece of basic white cardstock. And what I'm going to do, even though I can stamp right on the glass mat, I don't want to get it all dirty because I don't have my cleaning cloth here. So I am just going to randomly stamp a couple of the fireworks. I've got Blueberry Bushel ink and I've got Poppy Parade. And let's see. I have to pull, I've used all of the stamps interchangeably for all the things, so I have to pull them from other places. Okay, so first of all, this is probably my favorite stamp in the whole thing. I just love the detail of it. And if I could get it so that it would work and it would show like Wink of Stella at the end without smearing it, I would do that. What I'm going to do is take my Blueberry Bushel ink and I am going to, oops, obviously there was some memento on there that I didn't clean off. That's a later card. I'm just going to stamp it randomly a couple of times. Down in the corner. Some more off than others. I don't have to worry too much about the inside. It's going to be covered. But there we go. Just like that. And I have my chamois right here. And I'm going to clean that before I get blue ink all over everything, right? Okay, so that's the first step. You were wondering what fell? It was my glasses that I should be wearing right now. All good, I have them. Okay, then I have just a little stamp. I think, do I have a couple? Yeah, I have. Oh, here's another one. Here's another beautiful stamp, and I'm going to stamp that in Poppy Parade. Kind of filling in the spaces. I'm going to move that out of the way for a minute. I'm not going to close it because I'm going to use it again. My Poppy Parade needs to be re-inked, but this will work. Going like that. Turn the orientation of your hand a little bit so that not everything looks the same. This one, I'm just going to add a little bit of red right in the corner. And I'm going to do the same thing probably up top here. Just kind of fill in the spots, just like that. Okay, that's making our background paper. So if you don't have designer paper that's red, white, and blue, since I couldn't figure out any, I decided instead to make my own. So like I said, this is 3 3/4 inches by 5 inches. And what I'm going to do is attach this now to my Blueberry Bushel layer. So let's get my glue. Everybody has different adhesive that is their favorite. I have to tell you, the glue is my favorite. Not necessarily when you have to get it off, but for sticking, I can usually move it. I have a little bit of give for another second or two beyond anything else. There we go. There is our background paper. Now, next I have a piece of Poppy Parade. And this Poppy Parade I'm going to put right on it. Is that the same size? It is. So my size here is 3 inches by 4 inches, which means that my basic white layer that's going to be underneath, oh, I've already done something ahead, is a 1/4 inch less. So if this is 3 inches by 4 inches, it's going to be 2 3/4 inches by 3 3/4 inches. Now, let me show you what I did next. Let me set that aside for a second. And I have my basic white layer. I took a couple of the dies, and this, of course, is the negative of the dies. This is what's left behind. I have that, and what I decided to do was, just for a little bit of sparkle, I'm putting it on a layer of silver foil. We have silver foil in our catalogs now, so run and order it if you have it, or take it back out of the closet if you put it away because we couldn't use it for a little while. This is if you're a business demonstrator. If you're a hobby demonstrator, you've been able to use it all along. What I did when I cut this silver was I cut it a sliver less than this. So if this is 2 3/4 by 3 3/4, I did 2 3/4, moved it over a sliver, which is a 1/16 of an inch, and I did it 2 3/4 minus that 1/16 by 3 3/4 minus that 1/16. And then I can glue this right behind here, just like that. What I decided to do instead, though, was pop it up. let me move this for a second because I did do a little bit of stamping. I used a couple of the smaller stamps. I've got the yay that I could add, and I've got a couple of the smaller fireworks images here. And I'm going to do one in blue, and we'll do that down here. I'm supposed to be doing that on my scrap paper, I forgot. Just like that. And then I'm going to do it again as soon as my stamp is clean. I'm going to do it again in Poppy Parade. So I'm going to do that up here in the corner, just like that. Ta-da! Okay, now let me clean it. And what I did to fill in the spaces a tiny bit was, first of all, I took my Wink of Stella. And where is my Wink of Stella? Here's my Wink of Stella. And I colored over everything that is plain white. So I'm not going to touch the fireworks images at all because that'll smear it. And all of a sudden my cardstock will be pink or light blue. So I'm just going to do the whole thing just like that, covering the whole thing just like that. The centers, there we go. Because you can never have too much Wink of Stella, right? Then I'm going to stamp yay. We'll stamp yay in the corner. So if this is red up here, I'm going to stamp blue over here and vice versa. Because that is blue over here, I'll stamp red, kind of like right there. There we go, good enough. I probably should do one more red down in this corner, just to kind of, there we go. Notice how I'm doing it off the edges of the paper. I'm not worrying about keeping it straight. I'm not making everything look uniform. It actually looks better if you turn your hand a little bit, if you just change the angle just a little bit. Now what I'm going to do is add my dimensionals, and we will use big ones since that's what I have here. On my other table, I have little ones. We're going to use big dimensionals and attach this in all the white area, just like that. I think we're going to need a couple of little ones, but we'll see. Just like that. I can fit one over here in the corner, and it looks like I can actually fit one over there too. So let me just add that there. And then what I'm going to do is attach this to my silver. I'm going to stand up to do this. So, just like that. Okay, there we go. And now I'm going to glue this onto my real red. Nope, Poppy Parade. This is my Poppy Parade layer. Okay, so we're going to do this like that. So I'm starting something new, and I'm including tutorials for those people that are on my mailing list. If you're on my mailing list, you will get the tutorials for some of these cards. And some other cards too. I'm part of a tutorial group right now. And the current things that I just submitted was for art. But I also have done cards for the new catalog, which you will see next month in June. And we have tutorials for online exclusive products. So you might have found this card tutorial in the online exclusive. I actually did mine for Fluffiest Friends because I love Fluffiest Friends. Okay, the only thing I'm going to do yet is just add a few faceted gems here. These faceted gems are, you know what I was trying to find? Okay, here it is. My Take Your Pick tool. I don't like to do anything without my Take Your Pick tool. I always use the putty to pick up my gems and then move them. So let me get this one too. We're going to put it right in the center. If we wanted to, we could get a couple of little ones here. Let me do that here. And we're going to do one of those here. So there you go. So the upshot of what I'm telling you is make sure you're on my mailing list. It won't be tomorrow that this tutorial gets mailed out. There's another tutorial tomorrow, but make sure you're on my mailing list if you want to find out about the latest news and offers. Oh, and now that I thought about it, one of the big offers for tomorrow is free shipping for orders over $75. So if you still have stuff on your wish list and you haven't chosen to do the starter kit, and that's the only other way to get free shipping, if you purchase $75, you will automatically get free shipping. If you want to expedite it, it's $0 plus the expedited charge. But anyway, card number 1, there we go. If you decided you wanted to join my team, because the starter kit is such a fabulous value, not only do you get the community of my team, you get the community of my Uplines team and the community of Stampin' Up! In general. So I have made some very, very dear friends over the years. But okay, let me show you the next card. I love my next card. Love it. Here it is. This is thinking outside the box, and that's why this card class took me so long. Isn't that so pretty? This uses the Unbounded Beauty Designer Series paper. I love the muted ombre colors on the back. You could easily do it with a brush, but not as well as they do it. So let me show you how I made that card. So to start with, we have our Petunia Pop, one of our new in colors. This is the purple that I just love, love, love this color. This is my favorite color of all of the ones that they've introduced. I'm not going to say that I don't like Pretty in Pink, because I really do. Pretty in Pink is a welcome addition back in our arsenal of pink colors. But, okay, so here I have my designer paper. This is 4 by 5 1/4 inches, which means you can get 6 out of one 12 by 12 sheet if you wanted to make a bunch of these cards. Not hard to make these at all. This one took me not very long once I figured out what I was going to do. And that there is the key. I did not figure out what I was going to do for a very, very long time. I kept trying to think outside of the box, and it just was not coming to me. But anyway, I looked at these and I said, oh my goodness, they look like dandelions. They look like flowers. Couldn't they be fun flowers? Not sunflowers, but fun flowers. So let me show you what I did. I used 3 different inks, actually 4 different inks for these cards. So I've got my 4 by 5 1/4 inch piece of designer paper that I've added to the front of my card my card base. Now I have 4 inks here. These are the 4 inks. I have Fresh Freesia, Petunia Pop. Look at how much these kind of complement each other. They do, but they don't. I've got Shy Shamrock, and you'll see that I'm going to use that for the stems. And then I have my Pretty in Pink. So this is what I did. I took my basic white piece of cardstock, and let me tell you how big this is. This is 4 by 3 1/4, which means that this is 3 1/4 by 4 1/2, so 1/4 inch bigger. What I'm going to do first is find my scrap paper. Here we have my scrap paper again. And we are going to first stamp 3 stems. They're all going to be a little bit different height and orientation. I can do one off to the side that way. I could do another, and then I could flip it and do it so that that one is blowing in the wind the other direction. So let's do that. You see how I got all that ink on there? You got to be careful, especially with these narrow stamps. Now I want to make sure that I'm not going to rock this at all. I want to be straight down, straight up and straight down. Okay, there's my next stem, and I'm going to do this one a little bit shorter, just like that. Okay, now this was born out of necessity. I decided to add some leaves here, and the reason I added some leaves was because I splooched and I was wide and kind of did a halo on one of my stamps, and then I'm like, oh my goodness, that makes an awesome leaf. So let's do that. We're going to do some leaves. Just like that. And I'll turn the stamp and get some going in the other direction. Because there are not leaves in the stamp set, but oh, you see how I got the halo here? You have to be very careful not to do that. But anyway, that's okay, because we'll figure out some way to use that. Let me clean my stamp here. I got a lot of excess because it is a new ink pad. Shy Shamrock is one of our new in color greens, very close to Summer Splash. If you haven't noticed, it's very, very close. And being brand new means it's extra juicy. Now what I'm going to do, and I don't have to do it, but I chose to do this. What I'm going to do is take one of these stamps. This one is one of the fireworks images. Not sure, just a perfectly round one, but I decided that was going to be my flower center. And what I did was I inked up with fresh freesia and added that on all of my flower centers, just like that. Beautiful. Okay, and then I took this stamp, and this is a really pretty stamp. I'm going to close up the fresh freesia because it's just my center. I'm not using it for anything else. And I'm going to do one of my flowers in Pretty in Pink. And I've decided that Pretty in Pink is the lighter of the colors. So I'm going to do that first. I'm going to do that in the center one because my favorite color, as I already said to you, is Petunia Pop. So what we're going to do is do a little bit of Petunia Pop on the other two flowers. So don't they, I mean, they're fireworks, but don't they look like flowers? They could be dandelions or whatever. I'm going to make sure that they all are in a different direction. I don't want them to look the same. So maybe I want this one to look like that. And there we go. I don't like the splooch there, but you know what? That's how you know that a card is handmade, right? So don't worry about splooches. Oh, I did forget one more thing. I am going to use the Petunia Pop to stamp my sentiment. And what I have here is a piece of fresh freesia cardstock because I decided that goes really well together, right? And I have the long sentiment, congratulations on your big day. Now this could be a birthday, could be a graduation, could be retirement, could be starting a new job, could be having a baby, could be getting married, totally up to you. I didn't stamp that very straight. You've got two sides of your cardstock. Stand up over top of it if you need to, like I do, and try again. Just like that. Okay. Now I've got my snips here, and I'm just going to snip off the edges, and I'm going to try and keep the angle about the same, just like that. There we go. Okay. And now what I'm going to do is take my dimensionals again, and I'm going to, oh, let's attach this first. So first we're going to attach this to our Shy Shamrock, like I said. So thank you all for joining me today. I love sharing with you. Lots of great ideas. I think next week we're going to talk about in colors because there are so many cards that you can make with in colors. It's either that or it's going to be the Country Woods suite. So we'll see. Might be a little bit of both. Okay, so what I'm going to do is attach this to my card front now, just like that. I'm not going to pop it up. I'm just going to attach it. How is the weather over by you? We are expecting 80 to mid 80 weather later in the week. But that's going to be our first introduction to summer. Notice how I'm going to put this a little bit closer to the top. I'm centering it left and right, but I'm attaching it closer to the top because I'm going to attach my sentiment down at the bottom, just like that. So it's actually quite warm today. I'm wearing long sleeves, but I think I should have thought otherwise about that. I should have maybe put on some short sleeves before this. So which is my good one? I can't really tell. Yeah, they're both about the same. I think this was my good one. So let's do this one. A couple of dimensionals. I'm going to pop it up at the bottom. And this is a quick and easy sketch that you can make tons and tons of cards. And I'm going to tell you one other thing that I did with this that I really think is cool. So we're going to attach this right here at the bottom, just like that. I found these purple gems, and the Berry Burst looks really good with the Petunia Pop and everything. So let me get my, take your pick tool, and a couple of these Berry Burst gems. These are the purple gems that matched the lavender suite from last year, if you remember. I'm gonna put them right there, and ta-da, there's my card. I could do another little one inside on the corner. You know what? Let's do that. Since I have a piece of basic white right here, let's do that. We are gonna do this once more. I'm going to take just a little stem. And this is once again the Shy Shamrock. We'll do it right here in the corner. Let's add some leaves just by tilting it a little bit and only doing part of the stem. Just like that. And then I'm just going to do the same thing as I did before. With the fresh freesia, let's add the centers. I do have a lot going on here on my desk because all these, I'm gonna leave all these out because I don't know what goes with what. I need the flower center. This is the flower center, I've decided. Fresh freesia, stamping it just like that. And then we're going to stamp this flower again. And I'm going to do it in, Petunia Pop again because it's my favorite color. Isn't that so funny? Everything, I do love greens and I do love blues. And I'll tell you, I said that blueberry bushel, I was so thankful it was back. And this is probably the second card I've made with blueberry bushel since it's been back. I honestly loved Starry Sky better. So I can hope that someday it's going to come back as a core color. We'll see. There we go. We're just going to attach that to the inside just like that. That's all we have to do. If I wanted to add a gem, I could, but I don't think I want to do that on the inside because that might put a little hole in the front of my card. So we're just going to do it just like that. And if I wanted to, just for something fun, I could always just add a tiny bit of Wink of Stella, just like that. Pink it up a little bit, it looks like the center. There we go, just like that. Okay, so that is card number 2. If you want this tutorial, don't forget to be on my mailing list. It'll be emailed later this week because I have to write it up yet. But tomorrow's news, of course, is the free shipping for over $75. And I will have a tutorial attached to tomorrow's email too. I've decided that I should not be stingy about you guys on my mailing list. You need more than just news about Stampin' Up! Or when my things are going on. But if you are interested in any of my events, besides card class Thursday night, this Light the Sky card class, I also am going to be doing my retreat on June 22nd. There's still room if you wanted to join. I'll put the link on the Facebook page again this week. And then I've decided to do a lower cost one in July, probably the end of July, so stay tuned for that. For all of you that can't make June and you're begging for another chance, we're gonna do it in July because this, okay, this is my next card. And it's kind of a fun card. I'm doing this for Penny. And Penny asked me for a card that when you open it, it's like, wow, there's your fireworks, right? This isn't quite exactly what she had in mind or what I had in mind. We worked at this a long time today, let me tell you. We as in me. This is a Peekaboo fold card. And this is the new Full of Life paper. So this is our paper. This was my least favorite, and that's what I got in Prize Patrol when I went to On Stage. Full of Life 6x6 paper. The front is full of strange patterns, but the back is ombres and stripes that are really, really pretty. So it's a beautiful paper. And guess what? I ordered my second pack of the paper last week, and tomorrow I'm ordering my third pack. So obviously, I was wrong. I'll be the first to say it. Okay, so when I did this card, I've decided that we are going to change it up just a tiny bit. Because first of all, what was my first big mistake? I cut this out of a deckled rectangle. And the rectangle does, or the circle, it's a deckled circle. The circle does not fit back into the slots where it's supposed to. So don't use the deckled circle. That's your first big takeaway on this. Okay, so it's a little bit plain, but let's see if we can make it a little bit more fun with this next card. So I've chosen one of the patterns from this, and what I've decided to do was do it on Granny Apple Green. Isn't that a pretty green? This one was on Lemon Lime Twist, and it's a little bit washed out, just like that. It's just a tiny bit too much. So I'm doing it on Granny Apple Green, and I have a piece of the Full of Life paper, and what I'm going to do is attach that to the front. I could attach it anyway. I could attach it here like that, but I think I like it like this. So I'm going to attach it like this. What I'm going to do is add my adhesive only on the outside edges, and you'll understand why when I tell you about my circle. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. If I wanted to, I could add more adhesive down here. Let me do it down there yet. So I added the adhesive to the bottom half and the outside edges, and I am going to attach this to my card front, just like that. So Granny Apple Green card front, and I've got my Full of Life paper. This is 4 by 5¼ inches. That's important to know. I could do this with dies, and I was thinking about doing it with the largest stylish shaped circle, but instead I've pulled out some of my punches. Everybody probably has punches hidden someplace, hiding someplace. So I found my retired 2½ inch punch. I know the 2 3/8 inch punch is still available. I had a 2½ inch punch, and what I'm going to do is put this in here as far down as it goes, just like that. So I'm going to center it left and right, and I'm putting it in as far as it goes, because I've decided, oops, sorry about that. That was hard work, actually, which is why I knocked you. Let me do it. There we go. And now, because I didn't glue it, these are separate, or at least somewhat separate. There we go. And it doesn't matter that I have a little bit, because this way now the deckled circle does not have to fit into the perfect hole, right? Let me do the next part. So the next part of this is not here. Where did I put my paper? Okay, hang on 1 second. What you need for the next part is a 5¼ by 8 inch piece of basic white. And yes, I had to go off and find that because, of course, now that I found my scoreboard, I also found my paper. But I'll need it to get ready for Thursday night anyway, so that's okay. I have my scoreboard. I love my scoreboard. What I'm going to do, this is 5¼ inches by 8 inches. Am I 5¼ Yeah, there we go. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do, because it's 8 inches, I am going to score it in half at 4 inches. And then the next thing I'm going to do, because I have to show you here, it folds back on itself, I am going to flip this and score it at 6 inches. So you could do it at 2 inches or 6 inches, whatever, however you want to remember it. You're flipping the paper and you're going to do it at 6 inches. So it's 8 inches wide. So half of it and then half of the 4 inches. There we go. Okay, now remove my scoreboard. I don't need that anymore. What I'm going to do is take my bone folder. Oh my bone folder was probably put in one of my bins. Yes, this happens to me all the time, in case you're wondering. Now that I found this, I'm going to remember where I put it. I already burnished one of my folds, but this one is more important than ever to burnish. So where is that phone folder? Doesn't matter. Okay, what I'm going to do is the mountain goes on the inside when you're folding these cards. So we're going to do it like that. We're burnishing the edge. Then we're going to fold this mountain back on itself. Okay, so there we go. Perfect. And what I'm going to do is attach this inside my card. So I'm going to center it just like I normally would inside my regular card base. 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4, right? I'm going to make sure my fold is on the right, and I'm going to attach this centered top and bottom, left and right, just like that. Next thing we're going to do is, I do have a piece of designer paper, and where did I put that? Is that still here? Yes. So I've attached this one to the front, which is kind of fun. This is 4 by 5 1/4. This paper pack is 6 by 6. So I've got an extra 2 inches. I'm cutting this down to 1 7/8, I believe. I believe it's 1 7/8 by 5 inches. No, 1 3/4 by 5 inches. And you could have it exactly the same pattern as the front. So if the stripes are pink at the bottom, you can do the stripes pink at the bottom here too. And that's what I'm going to do to kind of keep it uniform and consistent. Can't wait to show you the last card. So I hope you're staying with me. So I'm centering this on that flap, just like that. Isn't that beautiful? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach a couple of dimensionals. I'm going to put 3 dimensionals through the circle right on here. And that's going to be what I'm going to attach my circle to. So this is really a super simple, super fast card, even though it feels like it should be more involved. It's really not. Okay, so I've done that. And what I'm going to do next is attach my circle. Just like that, right through there. So now when I open my card, this is going to be right there. And that's how it's supposed to work. The deckled circle didn't work because it was all uneven edges. Now, I could do this, boy, it's really hard. Do I want to do it this way? Then it kind of gets boring. I might do it like that, just for something different. But I am going to punch it. We're going to see. I'm going to punch it this time with my 2 3/8 inch punch. So remember I said that this one is still current. You can still get this punch online. It's not in the catalog at all, but you can get it online. I'm going to try and get this. I'm going to show you a trick, by the way. If you ever have trouble getting your pieces because they're too small to work, use the edge of a Post-it note as a flag. And what you can do is kind of put that in there, and then you can use that to do your paper exactly the way you want. So I am just cutting off 1/8 of an inch, and this is going to come back out. Let me get rid of the Post-it that is really stuck on there. Just like that. And like I said, I could put it here so that it's exactly the same. I could flip it a little bit so there's some interest. Because I'm a creature of habit, I am going to put it here and put it exactly the same. So now I can attach this to my circle that I've popped up with the dimensionals. Now don't forget, if you put the glue on it, you're not going to be able to do that. That's going to be hard to do that. And I made this a little bit smaller. I want to add a little bit of interest. So you've got the granny apple, like a 1/16 of an inch edge. What I did was, and I've already done this because I had to, and I forgot that I wanted to stamp this before I attached it to the card in case I messed up. I already stamped one of my my fireworks images in Memento on some Melon Mambo. So it kind of matches the bottom of the card. And I'm hoping that I can position it just right so you can actually flip open the card with, it'll open without catching on the edges. I'm going to pop it up with dimensionals again. So let me figure out what is the best. Yeah, that'll be pretty close. Catches a tiny bit on that edge, but that's not terrible. I could use my Tinsel Gems 4-pack, which stayed with us this year. And I could do the pink. I could even do the blue for something different. Let's do the blue this time for something different. Since I've already got a lot of green here, I've got a lot of pink. We'll do the blue. And what I'm going to do now, I've got to show you something that is really fun. I found the Something Fancy stamps worked really well with this. I wanted a happy birthday. So it's just a plain and simple happy birthday. And what I'm going to do is, so it doesn't get caught, I'm going to stamp it like this so that it's going to work. Looks like that has been touched by one of my fireworks images. Make sure this is upright. You don't want to, after going through all this, you don't want to have it upside down. There's my happy birthday. Sweet and simple. Let's keep the memento open because I found this perfect stamp that is perfect for me that I'm going to stamp on the inside. And this one is, I didn't forget your birthday. I'm just stretching out the celebration. I'm telling you, even if I have cards ready for somebody at the beginning of the month, they don't get out on time. I don't know what it is. What I'm going to do is stamp this again through my circle. I'm going to ink it up with my memento. I'm going to stand up so I can see it. I perfectly lined up the edge, so this is straight. If I trust my block, which I say a lot, I should be okay here. So here's my stamp. I didn't forget your birthday. I'm just stretching out the celebration. Isn't that perfect? So you could either have your fireworks here, and the other thing you could do is you could add another layer of something besides the designer paper if you wanted to vary it up. Maybe I wanted to bring in the yellow. I could punch out a layer of yellow and put that underneath my pink. Or I could put pink under there and do a yellow fireworks, whatever you want to do. This one card has so many possibilities, but see how it pops through? Isn't that so fun? But then I'm going to open it just like this. Whoop, there we go. Beautiful. Looks so pretty with this paper again. Or I can go like this and you can get your message in there. So you can do whatever you want. So this is a really, really fun card. So I hope you like this card. It is a little plain, and I think I'm going to add a couple more gems. So I have more of my blue gems here that I'm going to put here. Not a big one. I've got one more little one, and let me put that over here someplace, just like that. You know what? I am going to add another blue gem right down there, just to fill in that space a little bit. But look how pretty that is now. And it was not a hard card to make. So you'll get the tutorial for this in your email this month, this week, by the end of this week, if you are subscribed to me. And I'll put in the description, I will put the link for to sign up for my newsletter, because I promise to deliver more than just news about Stampin' Up. I'm going to make this worth your while to subscribe to me and be one of my followers. Let me show you the last card. I'm not going to show you how I made it. I'm going to show you how I made it, but I'm not going to make the card. This is my last card. This one looks like, oh, it could look like anything. To me, this looks like Happy New Year. You could do anything you want. But so what I did was, first of all, I have my card base, 5.5 by 8.5. I scored it at 4 1/4. Then I have this piece of gold foil. You can see that the gold foil is here. Doesn't that look like a perfect piece? It does look like a perfect piece, but I don't know if you're stingy like me. When I have all of my specialty paper, I'm going to use as much of it as I can before attaching it to the paper. Nobody knows that there is an imperfect piece of gold foil under here. This is what my piece of paper looked like. I cut out a whole bunch of celebrates. I cut out some stars, just like, and what I'm going to do, this is, let me see, this one is 4 by 5 1/4. And then this one is 3 3/4 by 5. So here we go. And what I'm going to do is attach that right over top of it, and you can't even see it. Isn't that perfect? So that's a nice way of conserving your specialty paper without having to use it. And I'm going to encourage my people that come to card class to do the same thing. They can use the dies and use as much as they want out of it, just making sure that the outside edges are intact. So that'll go right there. What I did was I first used my embossing buddy to get rid of all of the static. So you do that first. And then I took my Versamark ink and I stamped a couple of the snowflakes, and then I embossed them with the gold embossing powder and your heat tool. So you need that first. Then what I did was I took, and look at these, I don't remember the name of these dies, but it's the Celebrate dies. There's also one that says Happy Birthday, and I can't remember the other ones. But anyway, so there's 2 layers of dies. The first one will cut out the outline, and the second one is going to cut out the more detailed words. Now, I have to show you this. This is what I did was I attached this. I attached adhesive paper to the back of this before I die cut it, so that when I've got this cleaned out, all I have to do, well, I'll have to work on it a little bit more, but all I have to do is stick this down. I don't have to worry about gluing this exactly. So that's just a hint for all these detailed dies. Make sure that you're using your adhesive paper. It's a really good deal. I believe it's $10. Price might have gone up, but it has 8 or 10 sheets in it, and the sheets are like 6 by 12. So you get so much. I still have my original package, and I use this quite a bit. The other thing I did was part of the these dies, the Celebrate dies, were these stars, and I just added these up in the corner just like that. This navy and gold glittered ribbon carried over from, it's back in our catalog from last year's mini. This went with the Oh Holy Night suite. I don't know if you remember it or not, but I loved that suite in that ribbon. So blue and gold matched really nice, and this would be a great graduation card even, because of course Linfield, the colors are blue and gold, so you could do it if you wanted to. Do it for the school colors or whatever. Do it for whatever you want to match whatever occasion. But that's just how I made that. So I've got, let me just put this back in here. We got that for later. Let me show you the 4 cards once more. You can tell me in the comments which is your favorite, and you're going to have to not say 1, 2, 3, or 4, because I'm not going to understand that. What you're going to say is red, white, and blue, or the multicolored. So this is the red, white, and blue one, perfect for Memorial Day or 4th of July, just like that. Then we have our flower card, and this is our flower card. Oh, let's do the one that doesn't have, just like that. I've got our flower card that we made out of the fireworks. Isn't that beautiful? My favorite. Then we've got our card here. This is our peekaboo card, so our special fun fold card. Just like that. Open it up, reveal your secret message, just like that. Love this card. And then, of course, your Christmas, New Year's, graduation, whatever card you want. So thank you for joining me. What I'm going to do is... I wanted to make sure you didn't see my mess because it is a big mess. I wanted to say goodbye to you. Thank you for joining me. This will also be on YouTube if you want to watch it again. Stay tuned. I hope to next week have something else, probably something with the in colors. So love you guys. Make sure you sign up for my newsletter if you want the tutorial. Talk to you soon. Bye.